I'm gonna start creating from the base, then the body, the crown, the finial, and the rods. Let's begin by starting a new file by clicking this drop down arrow, hover over new, click drawing, and select AutoCAD 3D for metric units. Click open. And make sure you are on parallel projection. But before we continue, let us check the setting down on the status bar and make sure your setting matches with mine. Make sure your dynamic input is on, polar tracking, object snap tracking, object snap, 3D object snap, dynamic UCS, and if you couldn't find this icon, click this one here and click or select dynamic UCS. I'm going to change the view to southwest isometric. So start with rectangle, grab it from the ribbon, and type in 0, 0, 0, which is going to be my origin, and enter 240 for the x coordinate, then type comma, and enter 100 for the y coordinate. Enter. I'm going to extrude this one for 27. So select extrude command from the ribbon, enter, and bring up your cursor for 27 units. Now apply fillet on the edges, and the radius for that is 22. So go to solid, select fillet edge, and go down to the command window and select the radius option and enter 22. Select that edge and this edge, enter twice. Now I'm going to draw a line because I don't want my drawing to be overlapping, and about that length. Now I'm going to hide this one. So right click, hover over isolate, and select hide object. Then I'm done with the base. I'm going to proceed now to the body of the clock. Let's start with circles to draw the body of the clock. So type C for circle, click that endpoint, and as you can see, the circle is on the XY plane. So we have to change the direction of the UCS. So the Z should be parallel, click anywhere. Z should be parallel to the thickness of the body. So this is gonna be our XY plane. So start with circle, click that endpoint, type D for diameter option, and enter. Okay, wait, I have to focus this one. Okay, circle, click the endpoint, type D for diameter option, and enter 193.9. Right click to repeat circle, click that endpoint, type D for diameter option, and enter 160.9. Again, to repeat circle, type D for diameter option, and enter 120. I'm just going to remove that, bring my drawing to front view, and the distance from the center of the circles to this point here that we are gonna cut is 86.3. So type line, or type L for line, and from the center bring down your line and enter 86.3. Bring it to the left or to the right and click that intersection. Make another line and click that intersection. Type TR for trim command, double click, and remove that. I'm just gonna remove this one again, and then to draw this portion, the distance from the center to this point is 50.9. So I'm gonna draw a construction line. So type L for line command, and from the center, bring your cursor up for 50.9. Bring your drawing to the left and click that intersection. Bring up your drawing for 35.4. Bring it to the right and hit that intersection. Now I'm gonna remove this one, delete that, type TR for trim command, enter twice, and remove this one. Now I'm gonna mirror these two lines. So type MI for mirror command, click these two, and specify first point of mirror line. You can start from here or here. And bring up your cursor, click and select no. Type TR again, enter twice, and remove that. Now I'm going to join the segments. So type J for join command, enter, and highlight that. Select that. Now it's one object. The thickness for this one is 54. So this is the side view, and this distance is from this point to this point is 54. So I'm gonna use extrude command. Click this object and move it backward for 54 units. I'm just gonna turn off the grid and change this to wireframe. I'm gonna copy this inner circle from the center of the circle to the center of the back of this clock. Now I'm gonna create holes or indentation. The distance from the back towards the center is 25.5. So I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna select press pull command from the ribbon and just hover over this circle. Left click, let go of your finger from the mouse, bring it inside and enter 25.5. And the same process here. Hover over the inner circle, bring it in and enter 13.5. I'm gonna change this to shaded with edges so you can see what happened. Now press pull command again, and the distance for this one here towards this direction is 5. So hover over. Once it turns blue, left click, bring it inside, enter 5 and enter. I'm just gonna move this. There you go. Now I'm gonna draw these two holes, and the depth is 5, and the distance from this point here to this point is 22.5. So I'm just gonna draw a construction line. So L for line command, and from the midpoint here, bring your cursor towards that direction for 22.5. Go to coordinates panel, select Z-axis vector, click anywhere and bring your Z upward. The radius is 12, so type C for circle. Click that endpoint and enter 12. I'm just gonna bring this to top view. to the wireframe. Type MI for mirror, enter, select the circle, right click and select point of mirror line. Bring your cursor up and click and select no. I'm just gonna delete that. I can use press pull command to create the hole, and the depth is 5, so bring down your cursor for 5 and hover over here. And once it turns blue, left click, let go of your finger from the mouse, bring it down for 5 units and enter. And the body is done. The next thing to draw is the crown. I'm just gonna create a line from here for the crown and click this one, right click, hover over isolate and hide object. I don't need those 2 circles, so delete. Bring your drawing to the front and let's start from this in point. So I'm gonna draw a line, L for line command, and enter 222. I'm just gonna erase this guide. Line again. From this point, bring up your cursor for 7.5 units. Bring it to the right, press tab and enter 30. I'm just gonna mirror this one. Type MI for mirror and locate midpoint and bring up your cursor and select no. L, connect these 2 lines. And the distance from this point to this point is 60.3. So I'm going to create a line from the midpoint, bring it up for 60.3. Bring your line to the right and click that intersection. Right click to repeat line and click that intersection. Type TR for trim command, enter twice, remove that. Remove this one and delete that one. I'm going to join the segments by typing J for join command and select the whole thing. Now it's one object. And the thickness for this one is 54. So I'm going to extrude this object for 54. Now I'm going to poke a hole from the bottom, and the thickness for that is 5, and the distance from this point to the center is 51. So again, I'm going to draw a construction line. So line, type L for line from the midpoint, bring it to the right for 51 units. So I'm gonna click circle and click the endpoint there and enter D for diameter option and enter 24. And I'm gonna, from the bottom, mirror this circle. First, change this to the wireframe. MI for mirror. Select the circle. Locate mirror line. Click the midpoint to make it symmetrical. And bring your cursor up. I'm just gonna delete that one. I'm gonna turn this object around, and the thickness here is 5. So what I'm gonna do is use press pull command. Hover over the circle, Left click, bring your cursor up for 5 units. Same process here. Hover over. Once it turns blue, enter 5 and enter. And the hole here is this one is 15 units from the center going down, and the diameter is 9. So again, I'm gonna select circle from the ribbon, locate center, shift right click mid between 2 points and this midpoint, and enter D for diameter option and enter 9, and the depth for that is 15. So extrude this one for 15 units, extrude it downward. Now we have to apply chamfer. So go to solid, click this drop down arrow and select chamfer edge. Select distance, enter 1.5 for the first distance, enter, and for the second distance, enter 1.5 again. And click that edge, enter twice. Use subtract command from the ribbon, select subtract, click the object you want to keep and remove this thingy here. Now the crown is done. Let's proceed to the next one, which is the finial. For the finial, bring your drawing to the front view. Start with line, and the distance from this point to this point is 9. So enter 9. Bring it up for 15 units. Repeat line. Just gonna track. Line again. Shift right click. Select mid between 2 points. And enter 15. Repeat line. 15. Bring it up for 4.5. I'm gonna track again. The distance from this point here to this point is 6.1. I'm just gonna draw a construction line from the midpoint, enter 6.1. Repeat line. I'm just going to erase that. L for line again. Right click to repeat line from this corner to that corner. We don't need those. Another line. Type L for line command, and from this corner, the distance is 4.5. Just gonna track. I'm gonna draw the circle. I'm just gonna start from this midpoint. Type D for diameter option and enter 25.5. Now I'm going to move this circle to this point. Move and just hover over and bring down your, can you see that green dash line? Just follow that until you hit the intersection and move your draw, your circle here. Type TR for trim command, double click, and remove that. I'm just gonna delete that, delete this one, delete this one, TR for trim again, double click, remove that one, and remove that. Now I'm gonna draw a line from the midpoint here up to here, TR again, and double click, remove that, remove this one, and erase those. Now I'm going to join the segments. So type J for join command. Now it's one object. Click this drop down arrow and select revolve command. Select this object, enter, and specify axis start point by clicking this endpoint up to this endpoint, and enter 360 degrees from the command window. Now our finial is done. So let's move to the next one. Now let's proceed with the rod. But first we have to change the direction of the UCS. Select the Z-axis vector from the coordinates panel. Click anywhere on the screen and just bring it up. Start with circle from this endpoint and type D for diameter option, and I think the diameter is 24. Extrude this one for 40 units. And just delete that. And I think we're done with the rod. Copy. Let's bring back all the parts. So right click, hover over isolate, and select an object isolation. I'm gonna move this one and locate the center of this face, and then move it to the center here. See that blue circle? And then the next one is the rod. Move, locate center, and attach it to the bottom of that hole. The other rod is here. Move, locate center, locate the bottom one, and then this one. Move, click that upper center and attach it to the center of the rod, and then now move this object and select that center here, and attach it to the bottom here. I'm going to check with using wireframe. I think it snapped perfectly. Now I'm going to apply fillet on edges. So go to solid, select fillet edge, and click radius from the command window and enter 5. I'm gonna click this edge and this edge here and this edge, enter twice. I'm just gonna change this to realistic maybe. Alright, fillet edge again. Enter twice. Select fillet edge again and change the radius to 2. Enter twice. Repeat. Repeat. I'm gonna apply materials. Type materials. I got this paneling brown from AutoCAD library. Select wood and then select paneling brown and bring it to the top, which is this one here. So now I'm gonna highlight this one first and click wood. Just gonna close this one. Go to visualize, select sun status, adjust exposure setting, turn environment on, click this button, select background, select gradient, select 3 colors, top color, select darker one, it's up to you actually. The middle one, greenish color. The bottom color maybe a lighter gray. Okay. And then the exposure you can adjust from here. To draw the clock, type C for circle command. Click anywhere on the screen. Type D for diameter option and enter 121.19. Right click to repeat circle, locate center, D again for diameter option and enter 108. Type D, enter and enter 96. D again for option, enter and enter 6. Now the length for this line is 7.5. So type L for line command and from the quadrant, bring your line down or cursor down for 7.5. Type A, array polar from the selection. Select the object that you want to array and specify center point of array. Click this center and go back to the ribbon and enter 12. Enter again. I'm just going to explode that. So type X for explode command and explode the lines. Now another line is 3.73. Type A or array polar. Select from the selection here. Select that. Base point. Go back to the ribbon and enter 60 and enter. Go down to the status bar and hover over polar tracking. Right click, click tracking setting and select object snap and make sure your node, see this one, the node is on or checked, and click OK. Okay, type divide for divide command. Divide this for 12. So insert 12 segments. I'm gonna move this one or erase. You can see the points here. These are the nodes. There are 12 of them. Type text. Click that node. Bring your cursor to the right and enter 12. I'm just gonna move this one, maybe from this point to there. Copy, node to node, change this to 1. I'm just gonna move this one a little bit to snap to the center. Alright, so copy one, copy selection, attach it to the nodes. See that dot? White dot. Click this one. Enter 2. Click this one. Enter 3. Click this one. Enter 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete this one. Draw a line from the center. Type L for line command. And for the our hand, 25.59. Repeat line is 37.29. For the second hand, 38 or let's just say 40. All right, so our clock is almost done. So what I'm gonna do is extrude this one. Let me see the thickness for this. 3.75. Extrude this circle towards the back for 3.75. I'm just gonna change this to wireframe. Type materials. Okay, check Autodesk Library, the drop down arrow, and select glass, and you can choose color. We can choose clear color here. Just drag it and click that clock. So let me see, realistic. Clear white, maybe. There you go. Clear white is good. All right, I'm just gonna close this one. And now we have to extrude this circle. This one here. Let me check the length for that. It's 28.52. So grab this one, select extrude from the ribbon, and enter 28.52. I'm gonna maximize this one, change this to realistic. I'm just gonna grab this clock. Make sure everything is highlighted, move, and grab that center, attach it to the center here, that innermost center of this circle or of this face. Let me see. It seems to work. We apply shadow. I think our clock is a bit, it's not touching the ground, so I'm just gonna move this a little bit downward. There you go, and then adjust time. I think we are done. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notification, and watch me again for the next tutorial. Thank you so much. Bye bye.